Let's talk about the strangest boat that ever sailed the Seven Seas Lagoon at Walt Disney World on this episode of ImagiNERDing. Hello everyone, I'm George Taylor and welcome to ImagiNERDing. On my channel, I cover Disney history, Disney books, and theme park history. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can get updates on future video releases. I've had a bunch of people email me this photo of a strange round boat from the Polynesian Village Resort. There's a display case that looks at the resort's history, and this image of a weird-looking boat has garnered a lot of attention. There are other historic photos in the case, and it's a very odd thing for Disney to do. They never really look back, so to speak, and for Disney to pay homage to something like this boat is odd, but very pleasing. You can also see a depiction of the boat on the large wall resort map that is hanging in the lobby of the Polynesian. So let's talk about the beginnings of my obsession with the bob around boat. I was checking out some online ephemera in 2008 and ran across a flyer at Vintage Disneyland Tickets. The flyer was from 1975 and promoted the Vacation Kingdom as a whole. What caught my eye was this image. Yeah, that round thing. And this is a pretty standard shot from Disney in the 1970s. There's a lot of activity and everything is staged, without looking staged. But still, I had no idea what the round boat was. It wasn't in any of my souvenir guides, nor could I find it in any of the PR material that I own. I was stumped. Besides, how do you do a Google search for round boat at Walt Disney World and not go crazy? I emailed a few of my friends, and Foxfur from Passport to Dreams was able to provide the answer. She told me to visit the pages at Widen Your World and Walt Dated World for the bob around boats. Allison at Walt Dated World had this to say: "Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 or 4 people in a tub. These bizarre-looking striped boats had what looked like a lightning rod on top of them. Florida's home to a lot of lightning, They were only around a short time after Walt Disney World opened. Apparently, the boats were often the victim of dead batteries, which prevented them from bobbing along." Mike at Widen Your World chimed in with this: "Another aspect of the resort that has seen much change is the range of watercraft made available to guests over the years. Gone are the days when as many as 8 people piled into a 40-foot Polynesian war canoe and took off across the Seven Seas Lagoon toward real islands. And before those craft sailed into the sunset, the circular bob-around boats, each with an independent stereo system, had already long since been retired. Since then, I have been obsessed with the bob around boats, and I've seen them in so many other promotional material, like this postcard of the Polynesian Village. In this scan from the inaugural October 1971 Eyes and Ears, you can see a list of all of the prices for various recreational watercraft. The bob around is listed at $8 per hour, which would be really close to $50 in 2019. Not the cheapest, but still a fairly expensive way to traverse the Seven Seas Lagoon. So after discovering the boats, I started seeing them everywhere. I found this photo in one of the large 2-page spreads in the Story of Walt Disney World Commemorative Edition book. 7 boats are shown, with an additional one on the other side of the fold. If you look closely at the image, you can see that 4 of the 7 bob-around boats are docked at the Magic Kingdom. They are the ones in the back that are grouped in pairs. When I studied the image, I wondered if they ever rented watercraft from the Magic Kingdom dock. Obviously, there hasn't been a structure near the water to act as a rental agency, nor is there a cast facility for refueling or recharging. In this case, I would make the assumption that the boats are there for show, and this was probably a staged publicity photo. After publishing this photo online, a friend reached out to me and did confirm that you could not rent watercraft from the Magic Kingdom area, but he did tell me that he did drive a bob around boat from the Polynesian to the Magic Kingdom dock and left it there so he could visit the Magic Kingdom. Of course, the boat was not there when he returned. This image is from a 1975 Amtrak brochure, and it's the only image I've seen that shows the engine of the bob around boat. I really can't imagine how long it took to get comfortable driving this boat. Stop the presses. Wait a minute, does that count on a YouTube video? Well, anyway, after doing some additional research after recording the voiceover, I ran across this fantastic image of the bob around boats from the incredible website Retro WDW. Make sure to check them out if you haven't. They've got some amazing photos, but check it out. You can see a better shot of the engine as well as the interior of the bob around boat. And again, it seems as if I'm seeing the bob arounds everywhere. You could see the advertising for the water recreation in most Walt Disney World newsletters that were distributed during hotel check-ins. In addition to describing what was new at Walt Disney World, you could also learn about dining, golfing, and shopping. Each issue also included information about the water recreation and the prices. The 1973 WDW news clip featured here has a small black and white photo and, quote, "For something different, take the whole family along on a bob around cruise," end quote. It is also interesting to note that you got 10 minutes of introductory training when you rent any of the boats. And you could also rent the boats at the 2 hotels and Fort Wilderness. So what happened to the bob around boats? The last mention that I could find for the bob around boats was in the December 1977 WDW News. The rental was $4 a half hour. Quote, "Bob arounds, the perfect craft for leisurely sightseeing cruises, are family favorites," end quote. This leads me to believe that the bob arounds were retired sometime in 1978, but I've not seen an official confirmation. What I've read about the bob around boats is that they were very hard to steer and would fail frequently, causing them to need to be towed back to the resort marina. Of course, this was very frustrating for guests and cast members. I continue to be amazed at the myriad of unresearched and unknown details of Walt Disney World. Have you run across anything that has inspired you to take on special research or look a little further? Let me know. Or a better question, do you have any photos or stories of the bob around boats? Leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get updates when I release new videos just like this one. I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, and I hope to see you in the parks.